We're only a month into the new season and Chelsea have sacked Thomas Tuchel and appointed Graham Potter as their new head coach. Under the new ownership of Todd Boehly, Tuchel spent around £250 million this summer to rebuild this Chelsea squad with the arrivals of Wesley Fofana, Marc Cucurella, Raheem Sterling, Kalidou Koulibaly, Carney Chukwuemeka, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Dennis Zakaria. However, after an indifferent start to the season, Chelsea parted ways with the German, leaving the door open for Potter to make the move to Stamford Bridge. Now, the last young and up-and-coming English manager to be given a shot at the Chelsea job was Frank Lampard. It went badly, Frank. Stop looking so happy. And I think Chelsea fans would rather have Potter than another young English manager in Steven Gerrard, who's got enough problems of his own at Aston Villa. Potter had 3 very successful seasons at Brighton, often exceeding expectations and playing some lovely football whilst doing so. However, he's now taken a big step up in his career by moving to Chelsea. And I think the Chelsea fans will really like this appointment almost as much as I'd like you subscribing to the channel and liking this video. Luckily for Potter, he's going to inherit a pretty decent squad with a good mix of both youth and experience. He'll also get to link up with former Brighton player Marc Cucurella. Football friends! So, if Graham Potter had this Chelsea squad from the very start of the season, how would he get on? After a successful pre-season with 5 wins from 5, Potter started the league with 2 wins and 2 draws in August. They ended the month with a 4-0 win over London rivals Fulham. Kai Havertz got the scoring started before an Issa Diop own goal saw Chelsea double their lead, followed by Jorginho scoring from the penalty spot. Sterling got himself on the score sheet in the second half to round out the 4-0 win. Potter will have his work cut out in the Champions League though, as he's been drawn with Serie A champions AC Milan and La Liga champions Real Madrid. Red Star must be wondering what they've done to deserve this. September saw some more positive results in the Premier League. Following a frustrating 1-1 draw at Bournemouth, Chelsea got the better of another London rival in Spurs, beating them 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. Havertz again scoring early before Christian Pulisic added a second. They then beat Everton away 1-0 to end the month in 3rd place, keeping pace with Man City and Liverpool, and are the last team left unbeaten. Invincible? I mean, it hasn't been done for a long time.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing.
He could work his magic. You see what I did? Potter? Magic? Wingardium Leviosa. October started with another victorious London derby as Pulisic scored the only goal of the game in a 1-0 win against Arsenal. 3 more wins followed this in the Carabao Cup against Sheffield Wednesday and 2 more league wins against Aston Villa and Southampton. Potter and Chelsea had started very well, however they ended the month suffering their first league defeat of the season at Anfield. Jota opened the scoring before former Chelsea player Mo Salah doubled their lead. I mean, Mendy, what are you doing here, mate? What is that?
He has to go, blood. He has to go, blood.
New signing Darwin Núñez finished off the scoring, giving Liverpool a 3-0 victory. That result leaves Chelsea 4th in the league and 8 points off the pace, despite losing just 1 game so far this season. The Champions League has been a bit of a stumbling block. Potter's Chelsea are out with a game to spare following back-to-back home losses against Real Madrid and AC Milan. So it's looking like Europa League football for the rest of the season. Potter faced former team Brighton for the first time in November, and he would have absolutely loved the result. You know what else Graham Potter would love? If you liked this video and subscribed to this channel. I mean, he's welcomed them to the bridge here and absolutely destroyed them. Mount gave Chelsea the lead before Chalobah doubled their advantage to make it 2-0 at the break. Trossard did pull a goal back for the Seagulls before Chelsea started to fly away with it. You see what I did there? Fly away? Seagulls. Aubameyang made it 3-1 from the penalty spot before Sterling got 2 goals himself to give Potter a 5-1 victory over his previous employers. The World Cup came and went. England were knocked out by Colombia in the 2nd round. Excellent. Can't wait for that to happen. We're now at the end of January and the top 6 is starting to look very familiar. Man City and Liverpool are leading the way with Spurs, United, Chelsea and Arsenal all fighting for a top 4 finish. 2 losses against Wolves and top 4 rivals Arsenal wouldn't have helped Potter, who also lost in the Carabao Cup semis against West Ham. Now, you might be asking, why is the semis one-legged? Just Ignore it. Database issues, pretend it's not a thing. Now, you might be wondering who Graham Potter has signed this month. It's January, the transfer window's open. Who has he brought in to Chelsea Football Club? Nobody. Nobody. He's signed nobody. I mean, look at the size of the squad. It's small. And given how the season's going, Chelsea are struggling to make top four, not doing amazingly in the cup competitions. I'd want to be strengthening if I was him. Tuchel spent 250 million last summer. Potter, nothing. Did he really spend nothing? What is he doing? Anyway, moving on to February, it's been a bit of a struggle, and I'm not surprised considering Potter signed nobody. 5 league matches, 1 win, 1 loss, and 3 draws, all against teams you'd expect Chelsea to beat. And now looking at the league table, there's just been too many draws, which is why they're now a massive 19 points off the top of the league and starting to struggle to make top 4. They did, however, beat Real Sociedad in the Europa League. Again, one-legged because database reasons. The European tour didn't last long though, as Chelsea lost 2-1 in Lille thanks to 2 goals from Jonathan David. Listen, it's Potter's first year in Europe. Maybe he just needs some experience at this level before he can win these competitions. However, when your goalkeeper is doing things like this, I mean, goodness me, you cannot blame Graham Potter here. The FA Cup is a different story though. After disposing of Bournemouth in the 5th round, Chelsea knocked out Crystal Palace thanks to goals from James, Havertz and Aubameyang, setting up a semi-final clash with London rivals Arsenal at Wembley. Gabriel Martinelli gave the Gunners the lead just after the hour mark, and it all looked bleak for the Blues. However, Mason Mount scored a dramatic late equaliser in the 92nd minute to send the game into extra time, where it didn't go much better for Chelsea as Fabio Vieira gave Arsenal a 2-1 victory to end Graham Potter's chances of silverware in his first season at the club. April did start really well for Chelsea, who won 4 out of 4. Now, you might see Sheffield United here. Again, we've covered this. Database issues. The pick of the 4 wins came against Man City, a Havertz goal ensuring Chelsea beat the league leaders by 1-0. However, that loss against Arsenal in the cup semi-final did stop that good run of form, which they needed to pick up if they wanted to make top 4 with just 4 games to go. But Potter couldn't work his magic. See what I did there? Potter, genius. As I was saying, he couldn't work his magic, and the top 4 race has crumbled. It has crumbled. It's gone. Chelsea, they failed. But they kicked off May away at Fulham and conceded in the opening minute to Ivan Cavallero. Harry Wilson then scored from the penalty spot to make it 2-0. 18 shots, 62% possession, but they could not break Fulham down. The Toon Army were in town next, and things started well with Jorginho giving Chelsea an early lead before getting himself sent off in the second half for this. I mean, it's not clever, is it? It's not clever. Joelinton went on to score the winner in the 81st minute as the entire Chelsea team parted like the Red Sea. Meaning their top 4 hopes depended on them beating Spurs away from home. And they couldn't manage to do that either. Dejan Kulusevski gave Spurs the lead just after half-time before Heung-min Son made sure of all 3 points. Chelsea did beat Bournemouth 3-1 on the final day, but Potter couldn't manage a finish any higher than 6th in his debut season. Maybe, I mean just maybe, if he'd have signed some players in January, could have had a stronger end to the season. Brighton, on the other hand, have had an awful season, finishing bottom of the league with just 19 points. Now, I personally think Graham Potter will have a better season than this at Chelsea. He's a very talented manager, and considering the work he's done at Brighton, I think he deserves this chance at a club that can compete for silverware. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Fly away, seagulls, I mean, it's comedy gold, comedy gold.